headshots blown up on a big screen behind him. "I spent 40 years working these docks," Frank said to the crowd, his voice strong and clear. "I fought for this country in Korea. I earned everything I got through sweat and blood. And my own son, my own flesh and blood, tried to steal it all and throw me away like trash. But you know what? I knew what they were up to the whole time. I let them think they were winning. I let them show me who they really were. And when they finally crossed the line, when they left me at that airport like a piece of garbage, that's when I brought the hammer down." The crowd erupted in applause, cheering for the old man who'd outsmarted the vultures. Frank lived another 12 years after that, peacefully in his warehouse, surrounded by friends and neighbors who looked out for him. He turned the other half of the warehouse into a community center for veterans, a place where old soldiers could come hang out, share stories, get help with benefits and stuff. He never spoke to Bobby again. As far as Frank was concerned, he didn't have a son anymore. Bobby got out of prison in 2001, and word was he and Crystal split up about 2 minutes after they were both released. She ran off with some other guy, and Bobby ended up working minimum wage jobs, living in a tiny apartment in Queens, broke and miserable. Frank passed away in 2008 at the age of 88. He left the warehouse and all his money to the Veterans Community Center he'd created, making sure it would keep helping soldiers long after he was gone. At his funeral, hundreds of people showed up to pay their respects. Tommy Rizzo gave the eulogy, talking about how Frank had been a fighter his whole life, how he'd never backed down from a challenge, and how in the end, he'd beaten the people who tried to destroy him. "Frank Cooper taught us all a lesson," Tommy said. "Never underestimate an old man. Because that old man has seen things, done things, and learned things that young punks like Bobby and Crystal can't even imagine. Frank didn't just win, he destroyed them. And he did it all with style." That's the story of Frank Cooper, the old longshoreman who let his son and daughter-in-law think they'd pulled off the perfect con, only to turn the tables and crush them completely. It's a story about revenge, sure. But it's also about patience, about knowing when to make your move, and about the fact that greed will always be its own downfall. Bobby and Crystal thought they were smart, thought they were getting away with it. But Frank was playing chess while they were playing checkers. And in the end, the old man won, proving that you can't cheat someone who's been around the block a few more times than you have. Frank Cooper didn't just survive, he thrived. And his enemies? They got exactly what they deserved.